Sure it's working properly, and it looks like it is. So, I believe we can get started if you are both ready.
Yeah.
We are live for our dozens of viewers.
Dozens and dozens. I mean, from my observation, words again, they're hard. Usually, most people watch the VOD rather than the live stream, but I'm doing the live stream anyway because it's easier to record it this way. So anyway, hello, welcome to the REL 9B and 9C recap, the very last one for season 8. I am Chaos Baloo,
And I'm Dwiggy.
and joining us is
Ravenpo.
ta-da.
That's it for my intro. You just get one name.
That's works. That's all I did.
Who, let's see, who is someone who is not on Team Foul? Just so you know, just in case you're wondering, it's not like that is like a completely new thing. Like, strictly speaking, we have had guests before who are not on Team Foul, but statistically, most of the people who have talked on this recap have been on Team Foul.
I'm going to admit right now that I don't know how the clans work, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask.
Yeah, no,
I don't really know how they work either, and I'm about to play, so it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, no. I actually recruited him onto Team Foul specifically because I knew that he would be coming on to this cast regularly. We needed an extra person because Nosedive was coming out, so I went, hey, we have a new caster. Why don't we take him onto Team Foul? And thus, we continued the legacy of always having Team Foul on the recap.
So is this a low-key recruitment? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, talk to Gengar for that. Let's look at let's stop talking about Clan League and talk about some games instead. So, looking at week 12, starting with Division 9B, the very first game on the list is well, I mean, ignoring those admin games that haven't been rolled yet. Anyway, it's the Gad's Gob Stoppers versus Ragedorf, which seems relevant to our present company.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think those guys are a bunch of punces.
Some mighty fine smack talk for two teams that might end up with a rematch in the playoffs.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
that could happen.
That would be amazing and also terrible because goblins do not play well against dwarves. I mean, they don't play well against any team, but especially dwarves.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what happened?
I rolled a bunch of ones, and then a lot of bad things happened.
It tends to happen when you roll a bunch of ones.
Yeah, I even rolled a 1 for winning, so I don't even have money to rebuild for the Chaos Dwarves next. So there might not be any team left by the time they get to the playoffs.
Well, from what it looks like, you only have an MNG on your Fnatic, which is unfortunate, but it was the other guy is just David Daveman. That guy's still around. Oh, he's junior now, so he's MNG'd as well. But for the most part, you got your teams mostly still together, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, Ragedorf played a really good game. They played really good dwarf ball, and I hope they all catch beard rot and die.
But tell me how Morgan Thor got injured.
He got injured on a Yahtzee of sixes from a Slayer who managed to uphill block him and then just roll nothing but sixes for armor and injury.
Well, if Troll Slayer should, if anything, on a dwarf team, go after the big guy, it should be the Troll Slayer. So I feel like thematically, he did his job.
Yeah, I was using Morg as a ball carrier, and I would have had him secured had I not, quad skulled. But that's Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Uh, hmm.
It's a fun game to watch if you want to, see goblins get beat up.
Yeah.
I did chainsaw a slayer, so that
Oh,
was
that's
fun.
always good. I did notice actually you have a several. It looks like you have several removals that were from KOs, or KOs. I mean, fouls.
Yes.
So that's always good. You're at least doing, you're doing the proper goblin job and introducing dwarves to chainsaws. Um,
Well, Mistake promised to pay me if I could take out that Palmer,
did
and
you
his
did
check still hasn't cleared.
you did M and GM right? So like, does that count?
Well, he doesn't have to play against him, so
I feel like that should count. Okay.
All right.
Let's move on to the next game. That would be skipping over the other two admin games. Both Norse teams got admin games this week. Click Click Splat versus the Brotherhood, which is a 1-1 draw.
This is kind of what I expect when I see early Lizardmen versus early Nurgle, mainly because they both have a healthy amount of Strength 4 plus players. Neither of them are particularly good at ball play,
Uh,
so
In this case, the Brotherhood got a ton of blocks, and they got a lot of removals in the form of KOs. So this quite looks to me like the Nurgle was actually outperforming the Lizards, but they couldn't catch the Skinks.
well, most of the KOs were the Skinks from what it looks like on the match report that I'm looking at. But I don't know if they came back, if they were early and came back. That might have been part of it as well.
Yeah, that
So-
could do it as well.
also the Rotterhood has one successful pass.
Oh, they do too.
From the Agi 4 Pestigore, yeah.
Always nice to see passing Pestigores.
Yeah.
On the other hand, no stunty passes inside of Disturbing Presence. I am disappointed. I mean, if you're passing to a Saurus, then it doesn't matter if it's in Disturbing Presence because you need to roll a 6 anyway. So
That's true.
it's basically a free pass.
I don't know
At that point, you're a fool not to do it.
Exactly.
Okay,
Always go for it.
next match. Balance Castle Enthusiasts versus the Elements of Style, which is a 3-0 win for Mistake.
Yeah, so just elves doing elf stuff is what it looks like.
The dead loner got the MVP. It's
know-
the trifecta.
Yeah.
Just because I like to take credit for things, Mistake has told me that he learned how to elf from me, so take that as you will. His performance has been really good this season, and that's basically what you expect to see from Wood Elves.
So what you're saying is he read the Let's Talk about Wood Elves.
He did, which you can find on the Blood Bowl Reddit. Just search "Let's Talk About" in Ravenpo, and you'll find him.
Actually, a complete side note. I got back into this game back in August or September of last year, and a lot of your posts on Reddit really helped me get a grasp on the teams that I was not familiar with. So I would like to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And visit my Patreon at. I don't actually have a Patreon. Just.
Yeah, I mean, like if you actually started writing them again, then maybe that would be something to consider, though. Just.
I am not comfortable with anyone paying for the stuff that I produce.
I can respect that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this game looks like it was a bash fest, but Mistake just completely out-elfed Kislev, which happens. That happens. That's not really too unexpected.
Looks like the bear MNG'd his tree though, so that's always nice.
Oh, so he has no tree against the dwarves. Right, I remember saying that earlier this week. Actually, that is going to be He is going to have a fun time against
Is
Unseen Walker with
is
no tree.
is that his second tree lost? Because I'm pretty sure I killed one.
Well, it's not dead. It's just gonna miss next game. But you definitely did kill his tree. I was there
do
for that.
believe he did buy a new tree. He definitely has replaced both War Dancers at this point as well. He has cycled basically all of the important players except for maybe a couple catchers.
Which you also expect from Wood Elves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the last match. The Hausdorff's Homewreckers. Okay, I see something interesting right away. Versus the Werewolf on Wall Street, who won 1-0 and also murdered a Chaos Dwarf.
And it's unfortunate too, because that murdered Chaos Dwarf got the MVP and would have leveled.
Yep, every time. But
He earned that MVP.
Yeah, I've always felt like the reason why a dead person gets an MVP is because it was such a spectacular death that they couldn't have awarded it to anyone else.
I
It
really
got the crowd into it.
I really hope that dwarf is now a zombie for the Werewolf of Wall Street.
I don't know if the Werewolf of Wall Street has room on their team left to take it though.
I think
he's got a full 16.
I think they had room. At least I think they had at least one spot open. But if someone could go and verify that, I would appreciate it.
That is a full squad, and I think most of them are Pokemon.
Yeah.
So looking at the stats, it looks like this was a real big slugfest, but it looks like the Chaos Dwarves never managed to make it past midfield, which happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did get literally twice as many removals on the undead. Or, not undead, sorry, the Necro team. But most of their removals were in the form of KOs, whereas the Werewolves got a death and 2 casualties. I guess saying 2 casualties is not really fair, though, when the Chaos Dwarfs also got 4 casualties. It's just they also got 6 KOs.
Well, they only caused 1, from what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, they were fouling a lot, is what these stats tell me.
Which makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put hobgoblin boots to heads.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, why are you even playing Chaos Dwarfs? Like, you may as well just be doing regular dwarves if you're not going to foul.
Although fouling regen players kind of sometimes backfires.
Yeah,
it backfires a lot.
That is true. I mean, I would still foul a werewolf every time, but maybe not. Maybe not like a zombie. Maybe not a white. It would depend on the white at the very least.
Oh, if it's a werewolf, I'll foul it with my ball carrier. It just needs to be fouled.
Oh yeah, no. Werewolves have to be fouled every time. If you don't foul a werewolf, then you are not doing your job. Okay. That is all the games for 9B, so let's take a look at a team or two. I think we have a natural choice for one of the teams we're going to look at. That would, of course, be the Gads Gobstoppers.
Oh, that team?
Yep, the Goblin Anti-Defamation Society. They never cheat.
It's true. I thought we were going to look at the Gerber Admin squad, but I'll throw out all my notes for them.
So is it a lock now? Are you the Stunty Cup champion?
According to Cass Ubalu, I am.
According to me,
I don't know if I believe him.
Okay.
Unless my math is wrong, which, possible, then you are locked in now, because all the teams who were potentially all the teams who could potentially get that title needed to win last week, and they did not.
Well, that makes me happy. I mean, sorry for the guys that didn't win, but they're obviously much less skilled than I am. who also didn't win.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, so
I not win much better.
I mean, to be fair, I think both of the second place teams have the same number of non-admin wins as you. It's just you have way more draws, and that's what's doing it.
I do remember seeing that I had the fewest number of losses
Mm-hmm.
of all of the stunty teams.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been playing goblins?
Over 10 years.
Fair. So it sounds like you know just exactly how you want to play that team and get success out of it.
There's no right way to play goblins. There's only varying degrees of less wrong.
Fair. So my question is, I've heard from a lot of people, looking at your team right here, is that Pogo players are 100% not worth it. But I see that you have bought one now.
So, you can go either way on the hobo on a pogo, which is what I named mine. I don't like starting with them because they are really expensive on a team that really wants to manage their TV. But later on, they can make plays and win you games.
Mm-hmm.
Also for this team, because I was representing goblins everywhere, and tired of seeing people claim that goblins are not competitive or a joke team, I decided I had to go with the full squad and take all the secret weapons and all the positionals. So I did.
I mean,
All right.
it's hard to argue with that, and I mean that pretty much lines up with my own experience of goblins. Like the Pogoer is totally not worth it in a TV 1000 team, like TV 1000, a starting team, but eventually the TV on your opponents gets so high that you're fine taking it, because the extra 30k that you could be spending somewhere else doesn't really matter so much when you are like 50, when you're like when you're getting 500k in inducements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually you can afford it, and that extra move is really nice. 7 move is really, really good, and sometimes he will leap and not die, and that works out.
Plus, it makes it easier to do one turns. Speaking of, I
Yes.
noticed that neither of your trolls have strong arm.
I thought about giving one of them strong arm, but then I didn't.
That's
Okay.
fair.
I mean, I like what's on them, so can't argue with that.
Swamp, blah, I can't even say my own player name. Swamp Stench Steve was going to get strong arm, but I decided I would give him grab for more fouls, because I really like being able to grab someone, pull them behind the line, and then gang foul them.
Yeah, so obviously you're going to take strong arm at the next level up.
Of course. If I survive, there will be a strong arm troll in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, speaking of, you are going to take this team into the next season, right?
I had planned to, but now that I've won the Stunty Cup, I feel like I have proved myself enough, and I think next season I'll probably just play dwarves and make everybody hate me.
Yeah, that's also. I mean that. Okay, so I mean you're sort of getting onto my thing now, but I can respect that.
I might take a vacation and just play an easy team. Last 4 seasons have all been very niche, gimmick, low power teams, and I think I did really well with all of them. And yeah.
Of course, mind you, I've been seriously considering re-rolling into Underworld, so Anyway, it'll just be a changing of places. Who knows? Maybe I'll put some of my dwarves in the player market. Anyway.
I played. I'm playing Underworld in the World Cup qualifiers, so not going well, by the way.
Well,
we can't all be spoony barred.
They aren't going well for me either. In fact, I dropped out last week, and I was playing one of the OP teams. So yeah, that's how that's been going. Do you want to look at another team, or do you want to move on to the next division? We have time for one more team.
I will let Ravenpo decide since he's our guest, and also since we've already looked at Ragedorf, and they're the other team that's probably going to the playoffs.
Pick someone who is not Ragedorf or Elements of Style.
Or the admin squad, right?
Or the admin squad, yeah.
They managed to draw, though. That's really impressive.
Oh, that is impressive. I wonder who they drew against.
Probably another admin squad.
So, since they are my next opponent, and since I know you guys don't like Chaos Dwarves, let's look at
Dwarves.
Let's look at Hausdorff's home records.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't like Chaos Dwarves.
No, Chaos Dwarves are the best. They are honestly probably my favorite non-stunty team.
Chaos Dwarves are real good. The last time I played Chaos Dwarves, I won with a Hail Mary pass.
Oh yeah, that's terrific.
So the first thing that jumps out to me when I look at this team is the jump up Bull Centaur.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I kind of do. I really want to see some crazy shenanigans with that guy. Because it's not something you see a lot, and obviously it's probably not the best in the meta game, but you could do some really fun, crazy stuff with that. Give him like Mighty Blow piling on, because you never see a piling on Bull Centaur. I think that'd be hilarious. Or give him Frenzy, so like if he's on the ground, he can still move all 9 movement that he needs to surf somebody. I think you could do some really fun stuff with a jump up Bull Centaur.
As evidence for why I don't like jump up on a Bull Centaur, we've had this conversation before, because it has not leveled up since the last time we looked at this team, which would have been, I guess, in the half season.
Gotcha.
And we had the discussion then, and I wasn't crazy about it then.
So here is my opinion on the jump up Bull Centaur. If he took that with the intention of piling on next, or Mighty Blow and making a Palmer, I think that is the wrong direction to go. However, what I think he should do, and I shouldn't be saying this since he is my opponent, I don't want him to do it against me, but that should be his ball hawk. He should be going after the ball with that, and that way, if he gets knocked down, he can still use his full, incredible, albeit risky, movement to get where he needs to go.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair assessment, actually. That I have to admit, the ball hawk angle is not something that I had considered.
Give him break tackle next, maybe.
I mean, it needs
absolutely break tackle. In fact, I would have given him break tackle. I would have given him break tackle first, but I really value movement on Bull Centaurs.
Yeah, like I think block first is fine, but like if you really, really, really need break tackle early, like I know for my personal preference, I will take break tackle before I take sure hands, to use this other bull as an example.
All that said, he still dodges on a 4. That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's very true. And
and if you're willing to commit a team reroll to it too, it's a 75% chance to get away if you need to.
Plus, he does have a blodge bull carry, which I feel like we've sort of been dancing around. This is a really good bull centaur. All it needs is like a plus agility or a plus movement, and it is basically perfect.
Yeah, I'm personally not a huge fan of the ball-carrying Bull Centaur, and I know we've had this discussion before, but you give him break tackle, he's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, and break tackle. It needs break tackle as well. I guess it doesn't need break tackle if it gets an agi up, but if it doesn't get the agi up, it really needs break tackle.
Yeah.
Philosophically, I am against the ball-carry Bull Centaur. However, every time I have ever played Chaos Dwarves, I always end up carrying with a Bull Centaur, and in the last full season I did with them, the 2 top scoring players in the entire league were my 2 Bull Centaurs. So,
I mean, you have to admit though, they are the natural scorers on this team.
Yeah, they're the ones that can go the farthest. So,
also,
they can blitz themselves free. They can break tackle away. They can even give them frenzy. Frenzy is surprisingly good on a ball carrying Bull Centaur. It's just really good.
Plus, they're the only player who is not a slow ass line dwarf who you want SPP on.
Yeah.
More than 6 SPP anyway.
Also, no self-respecting Chaos Dwarf is going to let a Hobgoblin take the glory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is why is it Twix? Ace Trucking Co. is not a self-respecting... I've lost my joke. You know what? We're banning that. It didn't work out. Aboard. Okay, any last things you want to say?
We're
It
not
was a very
live, right?
funny
We'll just
joke.
edit that.
It's all good.
Any last things you want to say about the Steam before we move on to the other... Well, before we move on to the... Looking at the round, actually.
I really like the Claw Chaos Dwarf blocker because all my guys are already AV7.
Yeah, that's definitely good for you. The solid 20 wasted TV. If only all that tackle was also wasted.
Tackle never works.
Okay.
But you're faster, so you can run away from them. Just keep your distance.
Except for the Bulls. You're not faster than the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls don't have tackle. That's all I'm saying.
And we're almost all.
Okay, so let's take a look at the schedule for next week quickly. I think the two games that stand out here are really quite obvious. There's the Rage Dwarf versus Elements of Style, and there's the Gobstoppers versus the Hausdorff Homewreckers.
As much as I love to promote myself, I'm really looking forward to watching the classic Dwarf versus Wood Elf Mayhem. That's such a classic grudge match lineup.
I would actually like as much as I've been rooting for the dwarves, because screw elves, I actually sort of wanted to see Mistake take this game. Which, speaking of Mistake, he wants me to let you all know that I was wrong about the draw thing for the Rage Dwarfs. None of their admin games have been turned into draws. I was wrong.
I mean, we assume everything you say is wrong.
I mean, that's probably a safe assumption.
I wasn't here for any of those discussions, but I still assume that everything you said was wrong.
Yeah, that's probably a safe assumption. I'm not going to argue against that. That's fair.
I actually kind of want to watch the Yeti Conquer versus Click Click Splat game, just because it's Iron Master always puts on a show, and then I do like Lizardmen, even though I'm no longer a Lizardman coach.
That could be a fun game to watch, but I think Iron Master's probably going to win it. And
probably he's got a Block Yeti. Block Yetis are nasty.
And it's not important to the leaderboard either. I say in the division where no games are important to the leaderboard, this division is locked. Rage Dwarfs are going to playoffs, and the Gobstoppers are going to playoffs. Nothing anyone else does matters.
Yeah!
But still, get your SPP, and I'll see you all in the Devastational.
Plus also, if say Mistake did beat Unseen Walker, it could be the difference between him getting to a higher division next season. Yeah. So let's take a look at 9C. First game of the... Oh, hey, this one's rolled over. First game, Nerves versus Dead Presidents. Oh, wait, actually, no, that's... Did Dead Presidents drop? I thought it was a different team that dropped.
I don't know if they dropped, but they definitely did not respond to Dick Delaware's REBBL or Reddit post, which is what I said 2 weeks ago, guys. The R in REBBL stands for Reddit. You gotta get onto Reddit.
They had an admin game last week, so they haven't dropped, but they certainly didn't play this game either. Okay. In terms of games that have been played, we have Wood United versus Mystery Science Goat 3000. Which was won by the Elves.
This is a nasty elf team, and it does not surprise me. He destroyed me 4-2, so only holding him to 2, that's actually pretty good for negative pro. He's still a baby Chaos team, so he's not quite gotten there yet.
He did get 2 expulsions fouling elves, so
Well, he did. He took a chainsaw with him, so you would
Oh,
expect at
okay.
least one.
At least one
But,
expulsion from that, but that's still an expulsion from fouling with someone who's not a chainsaw.
Exactly. What you
Chainsaw is
should do-
never the wrong choice.
Although the Chaos Chainsaw is like literally the worst one.
Well, Chaos is one of the worst teams, so
Yeah, I mean,
it fits.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I can argue with that. Like in theory, I like Chaos a little bit better than Nurgle, but the end state I want, Nurgle is like starts off so much closer to it. Plus, they have Rotters. Rotters are great.
The only way I can forgive you is knowing that Papa Nurgle forgives you.
See, my problem is I never have a problem winning against a Chaos team. It's the fact that I don't know if my team will survive for future matches before when I go into a Chaos team match.
Okay, so like here's my argument for Chaos. I like playing control teams, and Chaos are usually built murder teams. That's not the sort of Chaos I'm interested in. I'm interested in a Chaos team where I am spamming block and guard on all of my players, and then no one can fucking touch me because I have probably 9 guard players. 4 of them have 4 strength. Maybe I have a Minotaur who has tentacles. It's amazing, but also it is really impractical with Chaos to actually get there.
Yeah.
My counterpoint to that would be to say preferring control teams is fine. You know what is easier to control? A team that is half dead. Once you remove half the opponents, they become much more controllable.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not wrong. And kill teams are also easier to develop. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, I like the idea of the Chaos control team, but in practice, it's usually not quite as good as the murder team, and also takes a hell of a lot more time to develop than the murder team.
All that said, there's nothing that says you can't have a couple of kill pieces and then put stand firm on the rest. That's perfectly doable.
Okay, well I will point out I did say 9 guard because one of them is the ball carrier and the other one is a dedicated murderer. Of course, you need to have at least one.
See, I assumed the other 2 were just journeymen.
I like having one
No.
Chaos
The
warrior
12th player is the journeyman for fouling.
How'd you get a 12th journeyman?
Mercenary.
Chaos Uvalu hacks the game.
Clearly.
and then buys a chainsaw on top of it.
Well, I mean, playing dwarves, the true answer is I spend 10k to hire a barrack and a boomer. Anyway, let's move on. Next game is the Fat Earthers versus Red Runt Rage. Oh, wait, this was a draw. Huh.
It was a 0-0 draw that played last night. I was surprised when I saw this match report come in. I thought somebody would at least done something to score at least. But
okay, so this is a ogre team and a halfling team. This halfling team, Red Runt Rage, is the one I was telling you about earlier. That is tied for second, I believe, on the Stunty leaderboard.
Everything about this game makes me happy, including that Zara got the MVP.
I had actually thought they had lost this game, so they might just be in second now and no longer tied for it. But they did still need the win to get into first place.
Also, I really love the Fat Earthers team name. That's
that's been
plus points just for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like,
it looks like the halflings outbashed the ogres though, which I find.
I mean,
listen, halflings are one of the bashiest teams out there. Don't let anyone ever tell you differently. Also, halflings really like bashing against ogres because snotlings are the only players they outstrength.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how often do halflings and goblins get to two-die their punching bags? Not very often. So, they jump on the chance when they get it.
Yeah.
And actually, though they may have outblocked the ogres got far more removals.
Yeah.
Also, only one KO and only one injury against Snotlings?
Yeah,
What happened?
that's harsh. if I had to
Well-
guess, probably didn't roll a whole lot of POWs.
It's hard when you don't have block or tackle. So
Zara should have at least stabbed something. Also, Zara has block.
that is true. And she did take 11 shots at players, and I'm assuming they were all Snotlings.
Zara does have 7 SVP, and she got MVP, so that one injury was Zara.
Zara also got KO'd twice.
Well, there you go.
that happens.
Okay, I actually thought Red Runt Rage would take this, but if I had to guess, they maybe this ogre isn't super developed in terms of its TV, so maybe they just didn't have enough inducements to get the normal full package.
Yeah, he normally runs with Deep Root as a permanently rostered member.
Deep Root and Chef is standard, so if you can't afford Deep Root, I could see taking Zara instead.
Yeah.
I would
And
have
it
taken.
looks like he didn't get the Chef either. He just took Zara.
I personally would have taken Puggy. Puggy is amazing.
Yeah, Puggy, and a Chef, if he could do it,
Yeah.
I think would be, because ogres really need their rerolls.
Yeah, Puggy
So
is
I feel like,
Puggy is really cheap. Ogres really need their rerolls, and Puggy has block as well, doesn't he?
yeah,
Puggy has block and he's 3 strength, which makes
Yep.
him amazing.
There you go. He's a halfling that can 3-die a snotling with block. That's exactly what he needed.
I still have nightmares from Puggy Bacon Breath cage diving at my skinks and injuring them on his first hit.
Strength 3 stunty players are the best. The only thing better than them is strength 4 agi stunty players. Wait, strength 4.
He also has
Agi
he also
4.
has nerves of steel, so when he dives your cage and takes you out, he might also catch the ball.
Yeah,
That crazy little halfling.
basically what we're saying is stunties are really good when they get stat ups. Like, insanely, incredibly good.
Yeah, it looks like Red Root Range only had 240k in inducements and bought Zara for 270, so they did not take the
Yeah,
Chef.
like, I don't know that this will ever happen in REBBL, but if we ever do like a pre-build tournament where you just can spend as much as you want, if that fantasy happens, I will enter a tournament with a stunty team where every stunty player is strength 4, agi 4.
That's just broken and mean, and why would you do that? It's ruining the fun for everyone else.
Just play vampires.
Yeah.
But vampires don't have stunty. They can't dodge into tackle zones.
You just remove them with hypnovision.
It's just not the same, okay? Like, I can't throw bombs with vampires. I can't throw my players if they're vampires.
We should probably move on.
We
Yes,
should.
We have devolved.
We certainly have. Crawdad got a admin win. Economies of scale versus. Oh no, that's also an admin win. That's also an admin win. Damn it! Like, all these teams dropped like really late. Oh hey, this is a game that got played. Rock'em and Sock'ems versus Mammals of Unusual Size.
Yeah, this game got played all right, and it was a bloody slugfest, I would say. Armor and casualty dice were firing on both sides like crazy.
I do see that there's one death aside.
Yes, I lost a Movement 8 Blitzer that also leveled up before his death. And Mammals of Unusual Size lost a 0 SPP line woman.
Okay, so business as usual for the mammals and big loss for you.
Yeah. I was trying to turn him into a
Mhm.
one-turner, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But my Mighty Blow finally worked for the first time in 6 weeks, and he got 5 casualties.
The
So
one who died?
no, my Mighty Blow tackle Blitzer. Uh,
Okay.
he hasn't done anything since week 4, and he finally got all of the
Mhm.
casualties all in one game.
Well, if there's ever a time for Mighty Blow Tackle to shine, it's against Amazons.
I know, right?
So that reminds me. My follow-up question was going to be to ask if you have an assassin. I don't think you had the last time I looked at your team.
I do not have an assassin.
Okay, but don't you think you could have like maybe used an assassin against the Amazons?
I was already up so much TV. I didn't think an assassin would really do well, especially. I just don't like it, especially a rookie one with no dodge or block. It'd be a big target to just remove early, and with the way that removals were happening left and right for both sides, he would have died in like the first turn.
I mean that's sort of fair, but I didn't feel like this would be a complete if we had not brought it up.
So
Um,
the pros and cons of a assassin against Amazons is, of course, the pro is stab is most useful against low armor, blodgy players. The con is you could also have any other player in that position that isn't terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, but it wouldn't be as fun.
I can't argue that. So it is fun
I say
until it dies.
having never hired an assassin. I haven't played in an Elfie league, not the current one, the one from before it. I won that league with Dark Elves, all elves, and I did not hire an assassin.
As someone who likes bad teams, I have tried really, really hard to make a 2 assassin dark elf team work, and it just doesn't.
I mean, like, I do think that the assassin is almost good, though. It's like at the end of the day, it's just too expensive.
If it had one more move or was 10k cheaper,
Yeah,
I think it would be a
like
good player.
if you look at its cost, it is costed for 2 skills, but it is counting stab as a full skill, and it just shouldn't because stab is not a full skill against real teams.
Shadowing is barely a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on movement 6.
Yeah.
Like,
But
there is no world where it should be spending 40k for these skills that it has.
if it does roll doubles though on its first skill up to get multi-block, he becomes instantly good.
I mean, it's still not really actually that
But
great.
Multi-block is only good on the LOS so that you can immediately fail both of your stabs and then get KO'd the next turn.
What? Not multi-block stab 2 corners of the cage at the same time?
Well,
The thing is, you can't
use
stab on a blitz.
you can't use multi-black.
Or, yeah.
You can't use multi-block on a blitz.
That's
I
what
didn't know
meant,
that.
yeah.
Well, I've learned something new today.
Yeah, you can only use multi-block if you're already basing in and just throw in a regular block.
Although it is better if he has jump up.
You
Yeah.
can jump up and multi-block. That is a possibility. Assuming he survives hitting the floor.
That is true.
Which really brings us back to what we were saying. It's too expensive because it needs a bunch of skills to be even acceptable. And yeah.
Assassins are really, really good against halflings. So if someone lets you take dark elves into their stunty league, that is an option.
So, since we're talking about this anyway, I think a good team to look at might be the Rocka and Sockums.
All right.
I killed the stream with that insight.
Actually, though, since you mentioned it, you know what? I don't want to go on a tangent about Stunty League, which is what I was about to do. So let's save that for later.
Let's keep going then.
Yeah. Stab is really good against stunty players, though. Okay, Rock and Sockums. Tell us about your team. What has changed since we last looked at it?
So my Mighty Blow tackle piece finally got dodge on a 10 SPP game to level up. I have bought a new witch elf who has played 2 games, received 2 blocks, and gotten 2 MNGs for her trouble. And then other than that, got another guard piece, I think, since the last time I looked at it. Somehow the other 2 are still alive, even though one is hobbling on one leg. And trying my best to build a team that'll be good for next season.
I mean, to be fair, he has the second leg. It's just it doesn't really support his weight very well anymore.
Yeah. But so my season is officially over because I have an admin game for my next game.
Oh, that's too
luckily
bad.
half my team though is in MVP range to level. So hopefully.
So are you gonna play in the Devastational?
I haven't decided yet. I am thinking I'll probably at least play for 1 game.
First game's most deadly one. Just don't forget it.
Well, that's the one that ruined my lizard team last season. So,
with an admin game next one, are you going to fire all of your crappy linemen and hope to maximize the SPP on the remaining players?
No, because I'm trying to save up for a beer stand, and I still am only a level 1 club, but I always like to hover around 100k in my bank, so if a positional does die in the game, I can be able to instantly replace it.
Plus,
remind me what a beer stand does, because I'm still not up on all of the
+1 injury to crowd surfs.
Yeah, that's a worthy addition.
Yeah. So, because I feel like the first season is the best time to get your stadium enhancement because you're going to go into season 2 and 3 with teams that have, tackle, mighty blow piling on. So you're going to start losing players, and you're going to have to start replacing players, and you're not going to have the funds to buy the things that you want for fun.
Yeah, plus if you wait until your TV is really high, then it's harder to save it up because not only are you losing players, but also you have spiraling expenses.
Just do what I do and reroll every season. Solves all of that.
It's definitely an option.
I think
the next team for me is Kislib, though, so we'll see. But this is a really good Dark Elf team, I think, or at least the base of one.
I like the confidence. It sells it.
Yeah.
I like that it has a lot of guard. I like that you have a wrestler. You don't have a kicker, and you don't have a dirty player. But you're elves, so.
I thought about getting a dirty player. It was definitely going to be a late addition once I got it. If I do get it, it'll probably be season 2 or season 3.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say this. You probably shouldn't. You probably should not.
Dirty play is really hard to. Dirty play is really hard to fit on a dark elf team, unless you put it on one of your witch elves, and then start fouling with her after she surfs some people, so that she doesn't die.
Yeah. Can you foul and blitz at the same turn?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, under normal circumstances, I am of the opinion that the cutoff for taking dirty player is 60k. If your player has a value higher than 60k, then you should probably not take dirty player on them.
Yeah, but I do like the deterrent for a Palmer. Even if I don't use it, having the option to use it is nice.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, though, your team looks okay. It's just, after one season, this is a good amount of development. Team value is a little bit high, but that sort of happens for Dark Elves, and it's not like it's going to explode in team value, probably.
No, I pretty much got all the players that I want. I'm debating if I want to get a runner or not. We'll see, but for right now, I don't see any other kind of additions that I would make. Just replacing players and
maybe I would start putting Misfit and Rancid in harm's way a little bit more, but I wouldn't fire them.
Yeah. So for the reason why I don't have a kicker is because my first 2 lineman levels were guard, and then at that I only had 5 linemen at that point, so it was they're all going to be on the line of scrimmage, so getting kick is worthless.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of waiting for the right piece to show up to level at the right time to get kick.
Actually, what your
If
team does need is more tackle.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Tackle. Hopefully, get a strip ball player somewhere. And then just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
if I may make a suggestion,
No.
it is not going to be a good one, but I have done this in the past with a pro elf team, but it would work on a dark elf team as well. Take wrestle on all your linemen, and then as a second skill, take jump up.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
That actually does sound pretty nice. Get all your movement.
It is surprisingly good.
I like it better on pro elves though because you can foul with them. But I still like it a lot.
Yeah. That is an interesting thing. I might make a couple and see what happens. Definitely
Give
can't do
it
it
a-
with the guard pieces.
Give it a try. I think you would be surprised.
All right.
Okay, let's look at one more team really quickly. Do you have any picks?
So who did we look at last week? Did we
Red
look
Rent
at
Rage.
economies? Oh, I think I said nerves. So let's go with somebody else. Let's take a look at Wood United since they are leading the touchdown race.
Okay, that should be fine. I'm pretty sure we haven't looked at them recently, and it's a Wood Elf team, so you know. This is wow, this catcher is developed.
Yeah, that catcher is nasty. And it looks like it's the new tree since the last time we looked at it too. He's only played 4 matches. So I know he didn't have one before, so he might have just finally bought one.
You say that, Cthulhu Collector, but you gave me bits, so you know. Go ahead and do it again.
Do what?
As someone that cannot see stream chat, I have no idea what's going on, and I have to assume that Chaos Subalu is talking to himself.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair assumption. Okay. So sorry, I missed what you were saying before.
Oh no, it's saying that the tree looked a little new.
It does
It's
look
only
new.
played 4 games.
Uh,
So
Actually, did his tree die, or did he just not buy one right away?
he didn't
'Cause-
start with one. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't
that's
start
what I
with one.
thought. But I think he might have bought one fairly early on. I don't recall.
I don't think he did.
Like,
I also could be
I
wrong.
want to say that he had a tree during the mid-season, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I do like that War Dancer down at the bottom, Leaf Blower. Strip ball tackle, Mighty Blow.
Mighty Blow War Dancers are the bane of everybody's existence.
Yeah.
It needs Frenzy next.
Yeah.
Or piling on.
I don't. Yeah. It needs to die is what needs to happen next. But-
It does need to die.
I
It-
mean,
it,
piling on would
it
help it
needs to be
die.
hit by a rock. It needs to be hit by a rock. That is the best way for War Dancers to die.
I can't argue with that because you know that is the amount of contempt I have for war dancers.
He's also got a brand new thrower, which he didn't have before. So he is.
You're right, he does this. Leaflet has
So,
played
I like the thrower.
only one game, made 2 passes in that one game, and 1 block.
Oh, you said thrower. For some reason I heard thriller, and my mind went a completely different direction.
So what actually stands out to me here, he's only been on this team for 1 game. He made 2 passes in that game, and he had 10 passing yards in those 2 passes. So those were not like vanity passes. Those were like, I need to score now passes.
Possibly. He did win 2-0, so it could have been the two throws that got him some touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's probably... He was playing against Negative Pro as well, who, as we have discussed it numerous times, is a fairly new coach. So I can totally believe that his positioning was not quite right to stop the bullshit Wood Elf plays from happening. I mean, and let's be honest, like, even if your positioning is perfect, sometimes those plays still happen. That's why they're bullshit.
So looking at his stats, he has 23 touchdowns total, and 21 successful catches. So he seems to like to go for the pass score quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, Lux Beautifully, the catcher, 10 touchdowns. I know he got a one turn on me, but he's also stolen 5 MVPs, which I don't know if you consider it stolen. He's just getting himself even more better, but
It
you would
sounds like
think
he's
that would have been more spread out.
It sounds like he has earned those MVPs.
This elf
That's
is
true.
gross, but also he does have one double. He took Nerves of Steel.
I like it. Nerves of Steel is great for an elf catcher.
Nerves of Steel is great, especially since he also has sidestep, which means he is a very good one-turner.
But he doesn't have the plus movement, which is good because that would be just even more bullshit onto the pile. At this point,
With sidestep, it's a lot easier to make that push, and with Nerves of Steel, it's a lot easier to get the ball into his hands when you need to set up for that.
Like this player only needs 2 pushes total in order to one turn, which is like that is the same. I mean, that's as good as you can get without movement ups. Let's put it that way.
Well, one push would be better, but
it's as good as you can get without movement ups, unless I guess you have a gutter runner who takes sure feet and sprint.
Yep.
Gutter runners are cheating. 9 move is stupid. Moving on.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's look at the games for next week quickly here. Any games stand out to you? Either of you? Any of us?
I'm pretty sure my money is on Wood United to win next week.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That seems like a fair cop.
I would say economy of scale versus mammals of unusual size. So if Furl's wanting to get that last win to get to the playoffs, he's going to have to beat the Amazons, and I don't think he has any tackle. So we'll see how that would work out for him.
That's
Nerves
actually a really important game.
Yeah, Nerves is going up against Red Runt Rage. So Nerves is most likely going to win, but Scambammer's a good coach, so he might be able to pull that one out.
Yeah.
Is anyone else upset that both mammals and unusual are misspelled?
I've never noticed that.
Okay, I have noticed the mammals, and it bothers me constantly. I have to admit, I did not notice unusual until you pointed it out. In the last recap of the season.
Well,
okay.
But I noticed the 1M immediately, and it has been bothering me every time I've seen it.
Well, the other thing is though, MAM is a certain Southern dialect way of saying ma'am. That's how they would spell it. So since it's an all-girls team.
Yeah, but they're also
that's what he's going
but they're also mammals, meaning that mammals.
It's like, good day, ma'am. You know, I don't know, but unusual.
Unusual. Okay.
I've never noticed that before.
But yeah, like both these.
I didn't mean to put that guy on the spot. I hope he's not watching and just really mad at me for.
Both these games are actually really important. If Economy of Scale wins their game and Nerves draws or worse against the Halflings, then Economy of Scale will go to the playoffs. And if that does not happen, like if Nerves wins or if Economy of Scale doesn't, then Nerves goes to playoffs.
Yeah, well, it's all going to come down to those 2 games.
I am rooting for the Halflings now because the best thing for a stunty team to do if they can't win is to ruin someone else's chance of winning.
I know, right? It's the best feeling. I do feel kind of torn though. As much as I want to see the Red Runt Rage win, I also want to see Nerves and not the Lizardmen go to playoffs. So I mean, ideally, both Amazons and Halflings win. That would be the ideal scenario to me.
Chaos Uberlu is racist against lizards. I said it.
You know, I was noticing that he clearly does not like cold blood.
Okay, look, this lizards are fine. Just
See, he has nothing. He has nothing.
He has
nothing to say.
It's like when you're saying, it's like, I mean no offense, but
He's been called out. We all know now.
everything else is bullshit.
Actually, the secret truth is I really like playing lizards myself. I just hate it when other people do it to me.
So he is a secret. He is a secret lizard man. We have confirmed it.
Yes. He is a literal snake in the grass.
I do generally also have a bit of a rivalry going on with Wave, and maybe I've been projecting that a little bit. A whole lot. Anyway, is there anything else either of you would like to add before we sign off?
Don't think so.
Oh,
I was trying to create a Patreon so that I could plug it right here at the end, but it is taking too long. So.
You know, we still don't have one of those for the REBBL. Like, I feel like someone should really probably get on that.
Well, you got the PayPal links, so it all works out the same.
Well, anyway,
They just need to sell more. They just need to sell more merch. That's all.
yeah. Like,
when can I buy a mug myself?
I have one of those, but I don't have my second one. Metal still needs to send it to me, but he doesn't do it. Anyway, before we do too many more tangents, I think we will sign off here. So, thank you for joining us for Raven and Poe, and also thank you everyone for watching throughout the season. This is the last one for the season. There's not going to be a Week 13 one, and I guess I'll probably be back with some division next season. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see when it happens. Until then, this has been Chaos Blue.
I'm Twiggy.
I'm Ravenbow.
And have a good play well. Play on. Bye.
Nailed it.